A real man always pays his bets. Justin Herzig not only wears the championship belt, but is a real man. We are going to be drafting a big dog today on stream. Let's see if we can find a 200K shipper.
It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer.
All right, GM, everyone. If you were not around last year for the lore, Herzig and I obviously known each other for a long time. He came on the stream last year. We made a fun little wager. We wagered where does the BBM winner come from? I obviously was a huge Justin Jefferson slappy last season, so I said the 4 or the 5. Herzig got the 1 or the 6, obviously getting it in good. Loser front to big dog. We co-draft. We're going to split the equity. And as Justin noted in the follow-up tweet, it was not Justin Jefferson who won the wager for me. Of course, it was Justin Jefferson on El Gru 50's team. Shout out to the combination of Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins, funny enough, Isaiah Pacheco, but most importantly, one Mr. Joseph Burrow and Ricky Pearsall at the 2.9. I'm not registered yet, so I guess I should go and do that. Bang. 30 seconds per pick, $500. Bada bing, bada boom. Looks like we have 4 spots left. So if you know someone, if you found someone, come on in. I would be happy to join you guys. Herzig, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Let's put a tweet out. 4 spots left. Let's get this filled. Also, do you can you put your Venmo on the screen? I got to
Yes.
send that over, and who knows, maybe you might get a couple tips on there too for how much of an entertainer you are.
Yeah, I will send that to you right now via direct message, because God knows what you could do reverse engineering someone's Venmo.
No.
I mean, who knows?
Oh, think about back in the day. I remember in my college days, like when Venmo first started coming out, you would have like people go into game day with like their buy me a beer, like on the on their QR. Probably wasn't even QR code. Maybe it was just like their ads.
I still see that stuff all the time. What you get a lot when you live in a city is you get people doing their bachelor or bachelorette parties, and it'll be like, hey, send me a drink. Yeah, so there we go. All right, I sent you that. I am happy to enter this, and I will also be happy to send you a Venmo back, probably a bank wire back for $100,000 when this easily wins the 2025 edition of the Big Dog. If you guys actually haven't been in the Underdog lobby today, they released a bunch of stuff. Actually, there's a new Bulldog featuring Nick Rudman's 2 Bulldogs as the logo, $75 double entry. We got it filled, and we got the 101. The man who got us here. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that great little serendipity? Jamar Chase, a player that left me completely poor in the finals that I did make last year. I actually was looking at this earlier because someone was chirping me, and I said, hey man, I might have advanced 7% of my teams, but I bet I had more finals than you. And I was right. I did, but only by being someone who doesn't leave the house in the summer and drafting a bunch of teams. What spot is taking it down this
Volume is king. Yeah. Do we need to run this back? What would you say?
I mean, funnily enough, given the context of last year, I would say the 8 hole is most likely. The 8 hole has a chance to get CMC or their favorite of Puka, Neighbors, BTJ, like their favorite of that. But more importantly, they get a nutted 2nd round pick. They're going to have a 1st round pick that they really like, and then they get a 2nd round pick before things change. You good with Chase, I assume?
Yep. Yeah.
Bang, Jamar Chase comes in.
So pick 8, I get that, because if you're thinking the Christian McCaffrey, which to be honest, CMC is going to pass Puka and maybe go to number 7 pretty soon if it hasn't already happened. So maybe you need to go 7, but I get that logic. For me, I still love the 1.01, but like I think 6 has become my favorite because 6 is the end of that, I'd say, elite tier where really you could convince me any between 1 and 6 are probably like should be the 1.01 or at least like the 2 to 6 are pretty flat. I mean, hey, we got Silva saying Gibbs should be 1.01. But then also pick 19 is when you're still getting the Lad McConkey, AJ Brown, Brock Bowers, like before that teardrop. So that's where I'd like, yeah, the 1 and the 6, which I called last year, never wrong, just early. That would be my those would be my guesses for this year.
Man, the 1 feels quite thin for me, actually. Maybe unpopular opinion. First off, you have a bunch of teams already drafted that have horrible CLV because they were taking a bunch of Rashee Rice. So that is a big part of it. Like some percentage of those teams are chalked off. But frankly, I think this is getting at why I don't like it as much is the comp are so up from the 101.
There's a difference. We may not like it, but that doesn't mean that the 1.01 teams aren't really good and may be favored to win.
Yes,
because I agree. Like, I don't love the 1.01 right now because, and to this point, what I've actually started doing is I'll grab Jamar Chase, I'll grab another really strong player, and then I'll throw in someone like a Breece Hall, a JSN, like someone who's going ADP between like 31 and 36, because I think that tier is pretty flat. But from 31 to 36, you're not getting that combo that often with the Jamar Chase. And this strategy is a little more important as we go later into August and we have more knowledge on who was and wasn't available. Like, I'm not going to reach for Marion Hampton when he was already kind of getting that in the, 4th round for those pairings. But yeah, but like from a overall, just because it's a less unique one, Jamar Chase, Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs, it's still like a really strong start from like an actual quality of players.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, we are left with something that actually makes me dislike the 101 so strong, which is I feel pretty strongly that one of our 2 picks at 24, 25 should be a running back. My truth serum rankings, though, Justin, have Amari and Hampton in that range. The issue with doing that is the big dog has been open since April 30th or whatever. Yep. Which means that there are some segment of teams that have Jamar Chase with Amari and Hampton at the 4 or 5. Now in BBM, I'm more comfortable actually just pulling that Band-Aid off and taking him. I mean, not often. I do want some combinations of Chase and Hampton, and there are time box contests where obviously that makes more sense. But I don't love the running back options at the 4 or 5 turn unless we like want to pull up Ken Walker or something like that, which frankly we could do. But I also am not that interested in drafting a 0 running back team in the big dog. You can shoot the moon a little bit less the way that the pods advance. So that is a strategy thing we're gonna have to deal with.
No, I'm completely aligned to that. And yeah, if we go RB here because we like 2 guys, I have no problem with that. It also then because you could end up with the 4 or 5 grabbing Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith or something like that, and you're still not grabbing a running back there. I'm trying to think what running back would have to fall pretty much there for you to feel good. But I was also looking, it's 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6, 10-person final. So I don't really care about week 17 correlation when there's only 9 other people in that final. Like, if it's an absolute end of the day tiebreaker, sure, whatever. But that's not something I'm really looking for in this format. So if it falls, awesome. I'm also not really interested in the elite tight end kind of McBride in this situation.
No, I agree. Hard agree there as well. Big thing. Great point. Oh God, Bucky went. That is
but I'm okay with Chase and Jacobs. I think that's a perfectly, strong, fine start for this format. And then we just slow down and run.
Now, do you want to do that? My preference would be to take one of these running backs. I'm cool with both of them. My preference would be one of them and then Adams, but I don't care.
I think there's just a major tier drop from the wide receivers that are available here. And I think the Stafford news isn't the greatest around the Devontae. I am pro Devontae, but that scares me a little. I get it's a different back injury. Jordan Rodriguez was talking a little about it, but it's still back soreness for an old QB. As you said, we're not going to have running backs for a while. And because we're at the turn, you don't even know what's going to fall to you. So I'd rather say hey, take our strong running backs. And now we know we can just wait a while.
You're right. And look, the slappy mind repels at taking, Chase Brown and Josh Jacobs there. First being slightly easier now for us to secure the services of Joe Burrow at the 6-7 turn. I assume both of us are not interested in taking Joe Burrow at the 4-5 turn. We obviously are going to have to battle against Marcone here, who has selected T. Higgins with the 20th pick in the draft. I actually quite like taking the wide receivers at the 4 or 5 turn. Like, there are going to be a plethora of wide receivers that we like there. Like I said, this is not a build that feels good to me, starting two running backs, one wide receivers. But I think there's no doubt that structurally you just have to hope, all right, Jamar Chase is going to be the number one scoring player in the NFL. I'm going to get a lot of wide receiver points that way. And it frees you up, which feels weird, but I think it's certainly true.
I'm also perfectly fine, if we don't get the Jalen Hurts Devontae, to say our next 4 picks are probably going to be wide receiver. And then now you've gotten 5 of your first 7 picks as wide receiver, and you have the elite 1.01. I think you more than make up for it. To clarify, I would not be making this build in BBM right now because it's just such a chalky start. That's where I would say, hey, instead of Josh Jacobs, grab that, Breece Hall, or grab one of those later wide receivers. Devontae could have worked fine too. But in this, I mean, there's 2,160 entries total. Divide that by 12, and you're looking at what is that? 160 or something, different teams that are going to have Jamar Chase.
And the pods are 1 out of 6. But yeah, if you do the math, if you divide 2,160
180
by 180,
2,100. 2,160 divided by 12 is 180.
Divided by 12. There we go. So there's 180 total draft boards. The fact of the matter is, being unique, I mean, I would say, and I mean, Herzig would know better than I would, there really is, you draft in this, the Bulldog that's out there right now, your uniqueness means nothing. The team that wins is going to be the team that scores points. And I would say, I guess to some degree, the pod luck is obviously mitigated because it's 1 out of 6 to advance. There are going to be some poor teams, quote unquote, relatively poor. I don't know. Some team is going to advance to the final with 137 points in week 16 or something like that. Yeah. It's just the nature of small sample sizes.
And you think back to 2 years ago, was it, where Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane each had 40 to 50% advance rates? You have those players that are the late breakouts where all you really need to do is have that one player and it can drag a team into the playoffs. And now that one player underperforms and they look like a crappy team. That's going to happen in these. But yeah, 1 out of 6, and then a 10-person final. All else equal, yes, uniqueness is better than having the complete chalk, but I'm not going to be giving up projections, ADP, ranking value to get it in this format.
No, I wouldn't be. I honestly wouldn't want to be giving up points hardly anywhere. I think it's a format that's slightly better for elite quarterback. I think it's a format that is actually, frankly, a little bit worse for elite tight end because
it definitely is. Definitely.
Yeah, I think you're just going to see some teams advance with Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts, and Juwan Johnson, and it's just not going to come into play. The whole thing becomes about how many points does Bauer score.
Even your elite tight end bowls basically say I'm fine with giving up advance rate, and that's what you don't want to do here. Your chance of advancing in the first round is the same as the second round, is the same as the third round. That's not the case for other formats.
Correct. All right, we are up. I think we definitely
Jalen Hurts already went.
I think we definitely take a minimum of 1 wide receiver. Slight preference for me on Waddle, but I'm cool with whatever.
Okay, who would your other one be? Sutton or DK? I was thinking Sutton Waddle.
Man, I was really wanting George Pickens, and he went.
Okay, I'm fine with that too.
Wow, he went at 38.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do So I don't actually, funnily enough, I don't love that week 7. I don't love any of the week 17 games here, which I guess it doesn't
Who
really.
cares? It's a 10-person final.
Frankly, I want to just take Hunter just so my exposures say more money on Travis Hunter, but we could take Sutton.
So the Sutton is we are likely not going to get Burrow. And so I want to start playing for QBs that we think we can build towards. And Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix lines up very cleanly. Now,
yeah, it does. It does at our ADP.
And so that's where like my thought is when I'm thinking of like the wide receivers. Yes, if you look at DraftKings, I think Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton is actually the highest from a, the highest concentrated pair from an ownership. But again, in this, I don't care about that.
Yeah. And you're
oh god,
that's actually
you see the comments.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson tweaked his hammy. You know what?
He rode a cart.
What's ultimately going to end up being bad about this is if that actually turns out to be the case and he misses like a week of practice or whatever, that's just gonna make me draft a ton of him because he's gonna end up going a little bit cheaper, and it's gonna be not great. So I think you kind of skipped past a point, which is actually quite sharp. Not that it should be that surprising, but something that you should be thinking about when you're drafting in a league that you think is more important, whether it be higher stakes, just one you really want to advance, whatever. Set up combos that make sense on the draft board. Frequently, Bo Nix goes at these picks right here, 96, 97, 95, 98. I mean, that's right where his ADP is. So give yourself
fighting against anyone.
Just give yourself optionality for a stack that makes sense for where you are drafting from, right? I mean, obviously, one of the things you could do is, you take JSN, you take Tet, you take Devontae Adams, and you have the optionality to just take those guys wherever you want. I honestly, dude, it's Cortland Sutton's just not a slappy player. It's like, obviously he is a totally fine pick. But man, Travis Hunter would have been fun.
I mean, sure, but the difference in just amount, like of all the people, the amount of targets and like routes that'll be run between those two is probably like one of the more extremes. So like, except Cortland Sutton's not a slappy, obviously, agreed. But then let's go say, hey, Bo Nix ascending second-year quarterback on a strong offense. Then let's say,
I love Bo Nix. But Bo Nix was
who else is he throwing to?
Year. Yeah. Hey man, some of us still like Marvin Mims. Some of us still believe that the wide receiver 4 from last year is still good. Yeah.
Those are laterals, right? They don't count as actual toss attempts.
Those are well, it depends. It depends on how close they are to the line of scrimmage. So this did actually basically work out perfectly for us, where we feel very good about our running backs because we have 2 of the top 12 projected guys, and we could take one of these running backs who's hanging out here at 72, 73 if we want, a Pacheco, whatever. But also, well, frankly, we might actually be faced with a bit of a tough decision because we might have to decide on some of these falling knives, Addison, Godwin, Pearsall, or some of the risers, right? Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is already up like 5 positional spots over like the last 2 weeks. And there he goes. Diggs goes at 67. The T. Higgins drafter does take Joe Burrow. Frankly, this guy, he is just living a little. I mean, he's setting up to have Tyrone Tracy as his running back 1, which I think is a strategy you can pull off if you're doing 150 entries in Best Ball Mania. I probably, if I did, what's the max entry for the big dog? 60 something. I probably really would not do
62.
Maybe I would do 1
or maybe more
true 0 running back. But it wouldn't be my base build.
All right, let's see what we're working with.
We are working with Caleb Johnson, top by ADP, who I do like. Pearsall, Jaden Reed, my boy, Matthew Golden. Thoughts?
I could double tap Green Bay. I could also throw in a Laporta. Kind of like the Laporta here. I definitely don't want Caleb. I don't think we want to go running back here. We have 5 seconds.
Okay. I had Golden. Let's double tap Green Bay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let's double tap Green Bay. Gives us a nice little stack. Gives us a clear direction. Also, obviously, takes away one of our opponent's abilities to snap us off. Talk to me about the opinion of Mr. Herzig on Matthew Golden versus Jaden Reed. I actually, honestly, frankly, I don't love Jaden Reed, but just strategically, I do like this move.
Okay, so first off, Jaden Reed has a bit of a soft spot in my heart because if he decided that he wasn't going to, he actually would have gone back in the game. All I needed was one other reception for him for about 12 yards to win $1 million on the DK one. So, hey, he tried his hardest, got me up the sack, blah, blah. That said, I think we know what his, route upside is. Like, I don't think there's anything that can change that the Packers are deciding we're going to start playing Jaden Reed in 2 wide receiver sets. And despite his talent, despite like him earning some kind of Debo type role, he just doesn't have in his cards the ability to kind of end up as a top 12 wide receiver because of just the route limitations from not running in 2 wide receiver sets. You then bring in Matthew Golden, who even from day one in practice is already on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. They're not giving that kind of like rookie treatment. And you get a first round wide receiver. The first time the Packers have drafted that high, like all the narratives fall into place. Yes, the talent from an evaluation on Golden, like isn't the best from, prospect style. But at the end of the day, like I think he has the clear highest upside. And I don't think like his floor is that much different than Jaden Reed's. So I think like it is lower, but I think if one of those two is going to ascend to be like a league winner, I think it's more likely Matthew Golden.
Trying to think. Weirdly, this is going to sound insane. I actually wonder if Golden's floor is better because I don't really see a way he's not on the field for 80% of the passing. I don't think he sucks. I actually think he's pretty good. I liked him at Houston when he was there, and I was actually sort of surprised to see the still unsigned Isaiah Bond like ever really feature over Golden in the Texas offense. Not really a surprise to me that the Longhorns got much better on off. Well, they did 2 things. Got to be inside baseball, but their offense got a lot better when they did 2 things, when they started clearly playing Jaden Blue on passing downs over Trey Wisner, and when they stopped trying to make Isaiah Bond the top wide receiver of the team and benched Amari Niblack for Gunnar Helm. All 3 of those things made their offense better. And if you told me right now, if I got to travel to the future and know everyone's route shares and everything, and Jaden Reed was running 83% of the routes and getting Romeo Doubs off the field and some 2 wide receiver stuff, I'd be like, wow, dude should have been a 4th round pick. But we're entering into year 3 of Jaden Reed's career. I looked at this the other day. I think he's got 6 games total where he's played more than 70% of Green Bay's snaps. So it seems unlikely to change now.
Yeah. Leone and Gretsch went deep into this kind of comparison. And for people who want to kind of get more perspective on it, I thought that was a really good, conversation they had. But again, it kind of came down to Jaden Reed. We didn't get that uptick last year. There was hopeful that he would go to the 2 wide receiver sets. Why would they now move him to 2 wide receiver sets when they just drafted a first round wide receiver and he played really well.
And a 3rd round wide receiver, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of an underlooked. Not that I think Savion is going to play, but I think that is to me, it's always such an indictment when you double tap the position. It's the same way you feel drafting a best ball team. When you double tap 2 wide receivers, you're like, oh shit, I kind of hate my wide receivers. Up to this point, sir, I promise you, I did watch Matthew Golden at Houston because Houston is always a very relevant team for college football daily fantasy.
Easiest way to get called up on screen. Easiest way to get a comment pulled up on screen is call Davis out.
Yeah, tell me I don't know ball. I'll dunk on you.
All right,
even Manjack the 4th. I think we definitely do Knicks. Now, I think we're basically out of this is why I would have been open to taking Caleb Johnson. I think we are out of the range of draftable running backs. Unless we wanted to take Dobbins. I actually would take Dobbins. What are your thoughts there?
I think we go Evan Ingram.
think we go Evan Ingram. All right.
If you want to go Kelsey just from a talent, like instead of Ingram, I'm fine with that. But
hear me out.
Yeah.
I think if we do 3 Broncos, we will definitely want a Chief, right? Even for a 10-person final. Is that too?
I'm perfectly fine with Kelsey. I'm perfectly fine with Kelsey here.
You know what?
Let's do Kelsey.
My best big dog team last year, this is a true story. My best big dog team last year had Noah Gray on it because I got sniped on Travis Kelsey. So this is another little bit of poetic rewiring of that team. And Travis Kelsey actually had a good week 17 last year. Yes, this is the full squad right now. Bo Nix, Chase Brown, and Josh Jacobs as our running backs. Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, and Travis Kelsey. How are you feeling after 9 rounds of this draft?
I'm sure I've drafted this team before.
Yeah, probably.
Which isn't a bad thing in particular for this contest, but no, I like it. And this is, if I'm going to spend 2 of my first 3 rounds with running backs, I don't want to take another running back for a while. We'll probably make this, like, I'm seeing a 3-5-8-2 build. And with that 3, like Jordan Love with the next pick, we've already got the double tap. We will hope that Tua then falls to us at pick 145. What is that? 145, 146? What's round 12?
Yep.
Yeah. And like that's where Tua's ADP. I think it's like 148, 149, something like that. So we get those 3. We can then go with some upside picks at the running back. Probably like one of these 2 picks I could see being running back. Thinking of the rest of the stack partners, like I know you like Mims, but I'm okay with if we just end up with like, I don't know, like I don't think we need I wouldn't pick Mims. If you wanted to convince me, it's fine. Green Bay will probably grab Romeo Dobbs later on. Probably not another Miami player.
Yeah, that's a Leone-ass player. Why? Someone's asked why is Herzig? Ask Herzig why ETR is so high.
Easy answer. You find another wide receiver with his ADP that is going to be playing in 2 wide receiver sets. Also, a pretty competent quarterback and strong team overall that's going to be scoring points. Like his ADP just does not make sense when we have pretty decent confidence he's going to be out there running on every passing play.
Yeah, I actually don't think there's much of any reason to take Marvin Mims on this team. Like we certainly could. I mean, I don't think he's a bad pick on this team, but I don't think he is particularly needed because we have Costco Marvin Mims and Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed in terms of like the archetype of player that they fit. Like we already have a guy whose ceiling is like 64% of the routes, but can also have a 30-point game. We don't necessarily need it correlated to our quarterback. Dobbins goes at 99. Actually thought there perhaps was a chance that he would come back around. We are in a fruitful range for running backs though.
Yeah, we are. We know we're going to put Love. So let's just throw that up there.
Yes. Yeah. I think it would be a bit silly to pass on Jordan Love on this pick. I'm thinking, honestly,
Can you show the players? Yeah.
Yes. I'm thinking kind of any running back here. I like Spears, love Tootin. Tootin would be, if I was drafting this on my own, Tootin would certainly be who I was picking. Yeah, I don't know. They're these dudes all sort of fill and function a role here.
Who are the wide receivers? Who are the tight ends?
Wide receivers are Mims, Hollywood, Kyle Williams.
Tight ends, real quick.
Warren is I was going to say he's a faller. He's not really a faller.
I like your running back. I don't think like this is the optimal format to be grabbing Tootin, but like I'm not going to fight it.
You think this is a better format for Spears? I would hear you out on that.
I mean, honestly, Ramondre, but either of them, sure. I would go Ramondre a little higher and say like, hey, we've got 3 strong running backs for the regular season. And then our last 2 running backs, we go with probably rookies or at least like high contingency options. But if you wanted to go Tajay or Tootin, I'm not going to fight you.
All right. So I'm actually going to take Spears because
it
gives us another quarterback that I like.
Okay.
If to add as a third quarterback option, I've got a lot of the Tajay Spears, Cameron Ward, Chigakonkwo.
Just a bet on the offense.
Combos.
I like it.
Well, Herzig, you help me make sense of this.
Okay.
Slappies love rookies. I mean, they will fall all over themselves trying to say that I am higher on this rookie than you. But the rookie they all hate the most is the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He's the far and away Cameron Ward is the lowest drafted first round skill position player.
Easy reason. Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. They don't like Calvin Ridley. True. So true. They hate Calvin Ridley.
They love to stack. Awesome. Don't love Calvin Ridley. Well, then what am I going to do? Because also no other Titan pass catcher is drafted before Cam Ward. So then what? You're setting yourself up for Chig. I mean, and Gunnar Helm hasn't reached the slappy kind of status. Give it a week or two. He could. But right now he's just hanging out with Kitchen. And then, yeah.
Yes, he is.
There's a couple chats that I wanted to pull up. One was the thought of Tootin makes Herzig sick. Now, I'm a big facial Tootin. I've got a lot of bags there.
He's got a better entry price than you, brother.
That's true. At least better entry price than 121. But in my mind, it's a bit of a reach in this format when you did have Tajay and Ramondre. And he's much better for when the playoffs matter. In this format, higher stakes formats, the 5x5, the 500s, it was so interesting with the 5x5s each year for on DK. The hardest part of the whole contest was always advancing out of your first pod, because it was 2 out of 12 in your first pod. And then it was 2 out of 6, maybe 1 out of 5, areas that are actually easier to do. And so in those formats, the other is, and I know there were some really smart people that always talk about hey, Best Ball Mania is, 4 different quarters. You have the regular season as quarter 1, then you have week 15, week 16, week 17. And yes, that's true. And there's value to kind of having back-weighted production. But what's not being discussed there is the variance and difficulty of advancing. There's a lot less variance when you have an entire season. And so Overzet put out that great video on the Eliminator. It got a lot of people to start thinking about, hey, week 1 is what I need to prioritize because there's more variance in those head-to-heads later on. That same theory applies for Best Ball Mania. It is hard to get lucky and finish in the top 2 out of 12 across a 14-week season. But when you get to the playoff formats, it's a lot easier to get that George Pickens 50-pointer, Amari Cooper 50-pointer, those one-off ones where you can get lucky and advance. And so when we think through, yes, we want back-weighted production because that's how you can kind of, where week 17 is how you can kind of keep advancing. But the easiest way to advance off luck is in those pods. The hardest thing to advance off luck is in your 14-week season. So we can't just completely ignore the 14-week season and think, oh, I only want to play for those playoffs.
I completely agree with you. I think that effectively you can almost draft these smaller field ones, and it doesn't have to be a big dog. It could be the $50 single entry ones they do, the golden or whatever. You can almost draft them like a marathon, like a total points, like a drafter style one. Obviously teammate correlation is super important, but trying to micro dial in your week 16 exposures or what, it could just a preposterous way to approach a 10-team final. Talk to the smartest DFS player on earth, get Nerdy Tenor or get Utica, and they'll talk to you about trying to sim. They'll refer to 100 people as a small field, and they'll be like, oh, our sims have a tough time with 100 people because one person's decision can meaningfully alter the ROI of the decision you're making. A 10-person final, a 50-person final. I think the Bulldog, I want to say, is 36 people. Preposterously absurd to try and I'm going to really optimize for that. It's just too hard. We are up in 2 picks. Marvin Mims is still there.
Oh yeah. We would easily take Marvin Mims at this point.
Tua is there. I think it would be very funny to take Kyle Pitts for the bit.
Oh my gosh, that's a dagger.
That is a dagger.
Okay.
All right, so we've got Tua went too.
Ooh, we got to hurry then. What do we have running backs? Trey Benson, Rashad White.
Algier is a total smash for us, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with any of those three.
Let's do Algier. And if we got snapped at quarterback, I do like, we could take Romeo Doubs.
What's our pick? Is that like really early?
We are 145.
Kind of right there.
Yeah.
I do like overstacking in smaller fields. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, I kind of like Tillman here, actually, just as like another out.
Or if we're going to go wide receiver, I'd push hard for Dobbs.
Do you like any of these tight ends?
I do like Pitts. Do it.
There's no better bit. There is no better bit than at the end of the year, this draft totally ruining my exposure screenshot when I sort it by dollars and having Kyle Pitts ruin the screenshot. I mean, that
all right. So Leone and I were talking about this. Kyle Pitts is a good pick this year. Like, of course, if Kyle Pitts does what he's done the previous years that he's massively disappointed us, then he's just going to deliver the right value for what you're getting at a 13th round pick. There are no other tight ends that are being drafted like, besides Isaiah Likely. Usually Likely goes higher and his is pure contingency, but like that has the actual upside without, we'll say, an injury than Kyle Pitts. And most likely he's the Kyle Pitts that we already know, and he ends up sucking. And to guess what? Like, that's fine. We drafted him in 13th round.
Sucking in a way that we are completely used to.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's what we paid for. So he's finally gotten to a play price.
We paid for 2 spike weeks. Look, you guys seen it. Just gonna get the ball a lot. Everyone in that clip is literally laughing because they know he's lying. They're literally like, you can hear the people go there. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the newsletter.
Because Kyle Pitts was in it today. This morning when the newsletter had the Kyle Pitts blurb, obviously, with regards to he's healthy, good to hear. I had kind of mixed feelings when I heard he's with the wide receivers because, like, obviously that's good for fantasy, but it then also says
it's terrible for fantasy because it totally limits the amount of snaps that he can play. It totally limits how much he can play. Like, his play action participation rate is like going to be the worst of any tight end who gets drafted in the top 25 tight ends. Kyle Pitts is a deep threat tight end, which is basically a position that does not exist in the National Football League. But real quick before our next pick, tell the people about FF and 60.
I mean, to be fair, this is kind of built for you. And I say that because I realized when I had a child that I needed to get away from the computer and I couldn't just live my life like on this screen, but I still needed to have like all the information for best ball. And so I was hopeful that there was kind of a solution that says like, hey, give me all the things that I need to know. And it didn't exist. So I said, screw it, I'll build it. And so the idea being you wake up in the morning and in 60 seconds, we'll give you everything you need to know about fantasy football from the day before with my kind of personal takes on there as well. Yeah, we hit 1,700 subscribers yesterday. So it's been really cool. I've been enjoying it.
There you go. I assume it's free.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. It's free. Link to that is in the description. I just put it in the chat. We are about to be up. God, Bigsby really went at 146. That the room is too hip for us, man. I think, gosh, we got sniped on all the quarterbacks too. Picking at the turn, man. Picking at the turn. You leave yourself at the the mercy of the room, and it's why I don't care too much about reaching on a pick at the turn, particularly once you get into the later rounds. We are on the clock. Do any of these quarterbacks do anything for you? Matt Bryant with Knicks. We have, I think that Will Shipley. I think Miles Sanders is a fantastic pick here. What are you thinking?
Adam Thielen. We need a wide receiver. Yeah, Pat Bryant. Sorry, I forgot that I had Bo Nix. Even I just don't get that much Pat Bryant, but that makes sense.
No, I don't really like Pat Bryant either, but it's just it is what it is. Positionally, I mean, I think we do probably need a running back because this tier is going to be completely gone when we get back up.
We do have a little Miami investment already, even though we didn't get to us, so I'd be fine with it. Jalen Wright. That'd be running back 4, running back 5. So that'd be our last running back. Give us Adam Thielen. Let's go, because we're still going to be able to find another running back we like, but we need 2 more wide receivers. So this gives us more optionality with our remaining picks.
You never know what's going to happen once you take Kyle Pitts. It just kind of takes you down a weird vortex, just like 2 guys that I don't take a ton of. I mean, Thielen absolutely fits. Look, again, when you've got Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, what is Adam Thielen on the winning team last year as well? Had to take Pat Bryant over Besh.
I'm so out on Besh. We know rookies in the past where it's, hey, they need to earn themselves a role. Like, they're not going to start week 1. Obviously, we heard the Justin Jefferson way back in the day over, I think it was Bissy Johnson, Olabisi. But like, the Jack Besh one is different. It's not that like he's going to find his way into the starting jobs, because the fits just really don't line up. Like, Jacoby Myers is going to play the slot. That's where Jack plays best. Deontay Thornton, 6'4", speedster on the outside. He's very clearly going to get the X. It then comes down to who's better fit for the Z. And like, Trey Tucker's not a great Z, but like Jack Besh might be an even worse one. So it's like, best case scenario, Jack Besh takes that Z role. But again, it's then the 3rd or 4th option on not a great team, like behind high volume Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. So best case scenario is not a good case. And worst case is he's just not on the field. Obviously, Jacoby Myers injury happens and everything changes. But barring that, I just don't think it's a good situation. We were talking in our ETR Slack, like, who would I rather take? And I think straight up, I'd rather have Deontay Thornton on underdog over Jack Besh at this point. On PPR, maybe it's the opposite.
I definitely don't agree, just because I think Besh is a pretty good player. And I also think Trey Tucker's usefulness as any type of wide receiver, a vertical wide receiver, a flanker, a Z, or whatever, is totally overstated. Like, this is a guy who is a speed wide receiver, but doesn't even run a 4.4. Like, he has admirably filled in for a really bad Raiders team each of the last 2 years. Besh is you want to get into like prospecting stuff. Just one of the craziest prospect profiles you're ever going to find. Out targets and has more receptions than Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. at LSU. Then kind of changes positions to a tight end to accommodate the aforementioned Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. because it's so obvious those guys are so strong. Goes to TCU, converts back to wide receiver, absolutely kills it. But then you get the stink of being a TCU wide receiver, but then ends up being a 2nd-round pick in a class where like not a lot of people thought he was going to be a 2nd-round pick. Like I just think he's good. And I think that a lot of the times that stuff is going to take care of itself. Like, I don't really care about how duplicative the skill set is with Myers and with Bowers, because those are good skill sets to be duplicative with. We do still have the Grim Reaper quarterback situation. We do have we only have 4 running backs, so any of these running backs here available is fine. What are you thinking?
I don't get much Rico, but at this point, it's pretty solid pick, especially when we're going with a 5 running back team. Otherwise, I like DJ Giddens. As for a QB spot, this feels kind of Anthony Richardson-ish for me.
I was gonna say Richardson or Shuck. I could honestly be talked into.
But we have no correlation with Shuck, do we? We didn't get Olave or Shaheed.
No, we have Tajay Spears.
Yeah, let's do running back first, and then we can. Oh, did Rico just go? Okay, I like Giddens.
I like Giddens. I like Giddens a lot.
Okay, let that clock go. Now QB. I mean, I'd go A-Rich or Daniel Jones. We just don't have correlation with Shuck, so it doesn't make sense for me.
Nothing like selecting Anthony Richardson in a $500 draft. You just love to see it. I mean,
when
look,
you stack
man,
him, with DJ Giddens, Jonathan Taylor gets hurt. Those two correlate.
I'm closing my eyes right now, and I'm imagining Anthony Richardson throwing a left-handed pop pass to DJ Giddens as the Indianapolis Colts beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 7. Yeah, Anthony Richardson and Pitts. It's like we played the best ball cabal's worst hits. Like
there's a better chance that DJ Giddens is throwing it to Anthony Richardson than the other way around, probably.
Yes. Yeah. 1,000,000%. I mean, it's not even close how obviously true that is. All right. So this is the team with one final pick, Justin. Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, Tajay Spears, Tyler Algier, DJ Giddens, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Pat Bryant, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, and Kyle Pitts. Honestly, pretty choppy waters. Like the room was just very good, which honestly it's kind of the opposite. Normally in poker, you scale up and it's very hard. People are really good. In best ball, generally speaking, like you play these $2,000 leagues on FFPC, and it's the worst drafters you've ever seen. And normally you'll find a whale or two in the big dog rooms, but that was not the case for us today.
Yeah, I think in the big dog rooms, like a lot of the teams are structurally sound, but the picks feel a little off because people are saying like, "Hey, I want to get my guys," because it's a higher, value, higher price contest, which I completely get. For this last pick, though, I think I feel that wide receiver is probably what we want to do and see if we can get a correlation. But how are you feeling about like running back and tight end?
All right. I actually think our wide receivers are quite good. Okay. Like I understand the theory of being like, oh, I think we're behind, but frankly, this team is pretty dead to win or advance if Jamar Chase is not one of the three best wide receivers in fantasy. I mean, I think in general, on half PPR, underdog drafters are a little reticent to draft a 6th or 7th running back, given how easy it is for Kareem Hunt, Raheem Mostert, Kyle Monangai, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Sean Tucker, Jordan James to be league winners. Like these dudes are 2 ankle turns away from being the 3rd highest projected skill position player. That's kind of how I think about these teams a lot. I also would take a 3rd tight end actually, because our tight ends are Taylor Swift's boyfriend and Kyle Pitts. So I honestly, I'm kind of open to anything other than a quarterback.
Okay. My lean was kind of tight end there too. If there's someone that we like, let's see what that looks like.
I think if I had to guess, I'm going to guess all the good ones are gone.
There's
actually, no.
Like there.
No, I was going to say we're still okay. It would be an insanely funny bit to take. Yeah, I knew people were going to start clamoring for this. I knew people were going to be like, dude, you got to take Harold Fannin, bro. I like a good bit as much as the next guy, but not that much.
I take Harold Fannin a decent amount, around 20 on DK.
DK. Yeah.
But there's usually, like, as I said, there were 3 guys there. Like, there's usually just guys that I don't want to say have as much upside because they don't, but like their likelihood of just hitting something and even something pretty decent is just so much higher. But 2 of those guys just went there.
2 of those guys just went. Yeah. Many such cases of waiting for an 18th round pick, getting in my nice little cozy Theo Johnson or Juwan Johnson snuggie. That was why I wanted to take Tyler Shuck, was to set up Shuck and Juwan.
Yeah, but I assume that we wouldn't get Juwan. Yeah.
Well, we would have had to have taken them back to back and then settled for any wide receiver in our final pick. I think we probably just take Jatavian Sanders. I would be open to a running back though.
Let's go through running backs real quick. I agree with Jatavian if we're going tight end. And if he goes, then I think we probably want to go with a different position.
I like Taj. Oh, okay, never mind. We have Chase Brown. I like Monangai. I like Tucker. Jordan James, probably my favorite of this group. These guys are kind of all just fine though.
Okay. I would go Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt if we didn't get Jatavian, just with that buzz that's coming.
That would be wow. Harold Fannin selected in a $500 big dog half point PPR draft. Shout out to
That's
Pat
his tight end
Klein.
4 though. That's his tight end 4. He put in the chat. But if you're gonna go with 4 tight ends, and there goes Jatavian.
There goes Jatavian.
Okay.
I mean, it would be like it would be like Gadsden, Royals, Wicks. Wicks is a stack.
Yeah.
No better pairing than Pitts and Wicks.
I think we go Ja'Cory.
Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible things happening. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Final team: Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, Tajay Spears, Tyler Algier, DJ Giddens, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Pat Bryant, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts. How do you think we did?
It's going to come down to, I think, the Packers passing.
We did do it. It was a draft.
It was a thing we did. But no, I think we made our, bet heavily with that Packers passing. I think it was the right move not to grab an 8th wide receiver there. Jamar Chase counting every week. And then from there, it's just we're expecting the Packers to have a strong offensive season. And then we have an out with Anthony Richardson, where that's the nice thing about Anthony Richardson. He doesn't kill this team. We have 2 quality QBs stacks with Denver and Green Bay, but he has the ability to kind of give us a game breaker, an elevator if we, get a little lucky. So, I'll give it a B, maybe a B minus or B.
I was going to say B minus feels fair. No reaches, very strong correlation. Maybe we should have just taken Evan Ingram. I mean, I think Kelce is certainly better.
No, I'm fine with that.
Than Evan Ingram. Yeah. Maybe I should have taken Bigsby over Algier. Really, this was just a good draft. It was a good room. People took players kind of in the right order.
Yeah. If you go to round 12, that's where I'd say we got unlucky. Where
Tua, this was tilting Mims.
Tua right before his third QB. Tua. And I assume, does he have Tyreek? I don't think so, because that'd be no. It's possible. Yeah, he does. Okay,
he does.
So that was unlucky, but it happens. And then Marvin Mims going the next pick. And then we kind of we didn't have to go the Kyle Pitts. There's probably someone else. And then made it a 3 tight end team. I don't know. It's hard. I think we did well with what we were given, but it was just don't love what we were given.
No, I mean that is effectively the issue. That is the trade-off you make. Everything in life is trade-offs and incentives, and there will always be a trade-off and some negative incentives from drafting at the 101 because you got given the 101. But picking on the turn is just in and of itself a difficulty. You do not really get to dictate much to the room. The room gets to dictate lots of things to you.
But you do get to do the Bo Nix, Evan Ingram, and no one can kind of steal that from you, which is the nice benefit, and you need to take advantage. Yes, we reached a little. I mean, we didn't end up going with the Evan Ingram, but had we wanted to, that gives you that opportunity. But yeah, it's just hard to get fallen value.
Yeah. That is just the way she goes. Justin Jefferson, poor Pat Klein, drafts Justin Jefferson right before he goes to the locker room. Reek, Adams, JMO, Walker, Addison, Montgomery, Warren, Dobbins, McCarthy, Goff, Tua. Tell you what, man, that is you are walking a tightrope with 3 quarterbacks and 4 tight ends. That is a tightrope to walk. I would, if drafting in this contest, draft 0 teams of that roster construction. But there's a reason why I advanced 7.8% of my teams last year, brother, and it's because I couldn't see Saquon Barkley this far in front of my face.
There you go. Cedric Tillman apparently with a lower leg injury as well. So at least we kind of dodged that bullet. Yeah, I've seen someone mention FFN60. Oh yeah, I forgot you were featured in FFN60 this morning as well. So
let's go, dude.
Your stream with Corinne and Leone. because I always do on Fridays, like what I listened to this week, because there's so much like kind of streams, YouTube's out there. And so yours, I think was one of the 5. So.
All right, there we go. Anything else you want to tell the people before you get? I'm going to do a couple more teams, but you are.
What is, do you have a due date yet?
November 7th, brother.
Okay, nice. So you're going to be about 11 months behind me, and it's exhausting. It's amazing. Yep. It's everything. You will definitely be able to have time to draft, so don't worry about that. You will often auto pick on your drafts, so worry about that.
Have good rankings. Yeah. Have good rankings. All right, Ryan, you are what team? Team Pat Boss. All right, I got you. All right, everyone, FF in 60. The link is in the description. Ryan wants you in here for the sauce. Then we can get you out of here. He's the team drafting out of the 9 hole. Nico, Bowers, Lamar, Cook, Roma Dunze is his wide receiver 2. DeAndre Swift, Josh Downs, Cooper Kupp, Rashad Bateman, Caleb Williams, Tyler Warren, Guerrero, Eckler, Roshan, Douglas, Chubb, Lloyd, Io Manor.
I mean, don't you know that you can't take Lamar if it's after ADP? The only way to draft Lamar this year is you have to take him before ADP, so then you can get Zay Flowers. You give up that little value to get the better value, because otherwise you're chasing. You had to draft Rashad Bateman. Nobody actually drafts Rashad Bateman, let alone you had to do it at 105 because you didn't have another pass catcher for Lamar. Yeah, rough draft. It all fell apart from there. Nah, love you.
Tough.
Oh, he's in the 10. We didn't even sauce the right person.
No. He said team Pat Boss. That's Pat Boss. That's just Ryan. You might not know this. Ryan, a very common name. Also very funny that Ryan has an underdog roster construction in his name, 3672. Yeah. All right, man. Everyone say goodbye to Justin Herzig. Tell him to have a great day. Check out his work over at FF and 60. And I'll see you again very soon, sir.
Cheers. Happy Friday. Good drafting.
Later, dude. Happy Friday. All right, boys. That was one Mr. Justin Herzig. And I figure while we are here, we should just go ahead and knock out our Bulldogs. I figure why not? The Bulldog 2. Let's just go ahead and get her done. I'm in the 10 hole, different Ryan. Many such cases of there being multiple Ryans. Many such cases. Tillman sounds like everything from a cramp to an Achilles. Sure. Why not? Another injury. Great. Thank you, Mr. Cake 5. About to be a dad in August. Yes. Get your drafts in now, brother. Get him in now, because your drafting time is about to be done. It's about to be all over, brother. Dude, the Fannin bet. Dude, the Fannin bet. Cedric Tillman's injured, dude. It's the Fannin bet. If the very first thing you thought of after Cedric Tillman got injured was the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy. Well, you might be a slappy if you cite Travion Henderson as a reason to not take the big dog. If you've ever drafted Genty and Hampton as your running back 1 and your running back 2, you might be a slappy. If you've ever drafted Jalen Warren and Miles Sanders together, you might be a slappy. If you have even conceived of the thought, the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy. You guys might be a slappy. Had a kid last year on 730 and confirmed my advance rate for August teams was subpar. Well, I guess that means my November BR teams are gonna be all messed up. Full PPR pick 7. Would you take Puka or Neighbors? I take whoever I had ranked there, honestly. I've gone blind after my Fannin bet in a big dog. That is some blindly seal slapping behavior. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. I ain't gonna lie about it. I wake up and kiss my Herald fan and poster. Only then do I put my britches on. All right. What do we got here? Alanchez, Dracob, Football in 34, Sander. Wow. They're doing it to me immediately. Immediately. Justin Jefferson at 5. Very first draft post hamstring injury. Justin Jefferson at 5, folks. Am I the fish? I don't know. Is that Jacob in the 4? I don't know. Is Jacob in the 4? Honestly, in my opinion, this would be true. That a Justin Jefferson hamstring thing. Still a bit upset Davis ducked my Thielen versus Hunter total points bet. Sorry, brother. Agree with Herzig. The new dad draft volume is not a problem. Middle of the night drafts, out on the walk with a stroller. It's pick quality. Yeah. All right, there we go. So let's see what this blind slapping seal Jacob Sanderson does at pick 4. I can't believe, of all the people who are drafting scared, of all the people on this earth to draft scared, Jacob Sanderson is drafting scared. They're going to make Justin Jefferson a brand play for his second year in a row. Frankly, I am embarrassed for sort of everyone involved. I can't imagine. I mean, if it's a real serious injury, sure, I'm happy to move him down. Wow, and they gave me Bowers. They gave me a Jefferson Bowers start. Folks, they let me enter into a $75 single entry draft and take double entry, and draft Justin Jefferson and Brock Bowers. I can't even, are they being serious right now, bro? This is not the mini golden. I mean, Jacob named his account after Miles Sanders. Real beta stuff. The ability to get these two guys. I mean, now these drafts are certainly sort of fun. In the sense that there is a lot more of get your guys behavior. You will see people make real reaches. I mean, it is fun to do, but my goodness, man, my goodness. Now, a thing that I'm debating in my head right now is, do I take Amari and Hampton here? Because that is who I want to take. I want to take Amari and Hampton here. I might need to do a more prudent thing because you know what? You only live one time. Oh my gosh, he went to pick. Wow, Jacob. All right. We'll do. There's not really a running back I want to take here. We might be venturing into slappy 0 running back. Jacob, he got me. He totally got me back. Look at this boomer. Look at this guy. I gotta tweet this right now. Look at this sick boomer who loves running backs. What a fake blind slapping seal this guy is. He claims to be a leader of the slaps. You claim to be a leader of the slappies, and you take 3 running backs. A bigger blinder seal showed up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna invite Jacob on. I just sent him the StreamYard. This guy, Jacob Sanderson, claims to be a slappy. Gosh, that's funny. The 3 running back start. We'll see if he's around. Thoughts on drafting 2 expensive elite players from the same team, Genty Bowers, Saquon AJB? Honestly, I do not love it. I don't love it for playoff contests. I actually like it a lot for marathon contests. Oh, Jacob says he can't join. He was just on his lunch break. Yeah, Jacob says he can't join. He's just on his lunch break. Missed out on some absolutely tremendous content. Now, I can pull the sidekick back up now that Herzig's gone. Look at this. Now, do I take Tet? I think I take Tet and just accept that I'm gonna have to overdraft a running back. Worthy is the worst pick on the board at ADP other than Juwan Jennings. You know, I certainly do not think that that is true, but you know, there is a lot of ways to draft fantasy football teams. What would it take for you to call it a successful Best Ball Mania season? If I have enough YouTube subscribers to still do this as my job a year from now, I would say any day that I don't have to file for unemployment is probably a pretty good one. Wow, dude. Ray McLeod had more receiving yards than Worthy. Surely he scored a lot of touchdowns too. And surely Ray McLeod had a lot of rushing yards too. And actually, rookies are never allowed to get better. Did you guys know that? The guy, what you are as a rookie is the player you are going to be forever. Ray McLeod also had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Wow. Now, Best Ball Guy is a great guy, and you guys should all go check out his streams. But let me tell you one thing. This man does not understand the importance of the bench press. I have to take a running back here. It is non-negotiable. I'm deciding which one I want it to be. Honestly, I'm just gonna take Kamara. Oh shit, here we go again. BBG, first off, it does, and everyone should go check out his channel. But I need him to do some more bench press. Here we go. Let's go the See, I don't love Hunter with Tet. What do you guys think about Hunter and Tet together? I mean, I think it's fine. It wouldn't be something that I would actively target. By the way, you guys can go ahead and give Mr. Best Ball Guy a follow there on YouTube. First off, this is not true. Yeah, I prefer Teteroy McMillan separately with Hubbard. Honestly, I have actually no idea, Andrew. I really do not. It proves his point, folks. The fact that Worthy had Mahomes and a hurt Rashi. Well, frankly, I do need to tell you that you are wrong that he didn't have more scrimmage yards than Alec Pierce. So, but you know, the great thing about best ball is that it doesn't matter, and we can just all go. You know, if you think you're right, then you shouldn't draft any Xavier Worthy. You should draft, I don't know, draft a bunch of DJ Moore. Yeah, I think Alec Pierce is a pretty decent pick. Dang. James Conner and RJ Harvey go. Smidgen annoying there. Yeah, I mean, I think Alec Pierce is a pretty decent pick. Alec Pierce said more in the regular season. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh my goodness, man. Caleb Johnson goes to, you know what? I don't care, dude. I'm taking Isaiah Pacheco. Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco. You might be saying, Davis, you're losing your slappy roots. Why are you taking these running backs? There really is no combination of players you can take that is going to make up for having, you know, I don't know who would be my running back 2 on this team. Tyrone Tracy. There was Hayden Winks. Hayden Winks had a great tweet today about Pacheco being running back 7 in terms of total usage before he got injured, and Rashee Rice being wide receiver 22 in total usage after he got injured. Yes, Jacob ran the room out of running backs. Jacob recovering nicely here with Pickens, Flowers, and Addison. I mean, I don't think it would have been what I would have done. Also, another reason why I took Pacheco there is I knew for a matter of fact there was going to be a wide receiver that I liked here, and I've got 2 of them available. Now, Jacob is at a real rock and hard place because he doesn't like Golden. Oh, man. I should have just taken Worthy over Garrett Wilson. All right. What do we do? You know what? I'm just going to draft. So I was wrong. Gotta put your hand up when you were wrong. I was wrong. I thought that a minimum of 1 of Jaden Reed, Stephon Diggs, Ricky Pearsall, or Matthew Golden was going to get back to me, and none of them did. In consecutive order, Jaden Reed, Stephon Diggs, Ricky Pearsall, and Matthew Golden goes. Tough. Have you seen the training camp videos of Pacheco running routes? Looks like the Drewski meme. You know what? You're right. You're right, dude. That's being a coward. I should have just taken Emeka Egbuka. You're right, and it hurts me. It hurts me how right you are. I did the wrong thing there. No, I will probably do the mini Golden. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna stream that one. Maybe I will though. Maybe I will do it at some point today though. I mean, imagine not participating in a winner-take-all draft on Underdog Fantasy. Couldn't possibly be me. Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, Kamara, Pacheco, Pollard. So Jacob and I are building the inverse team. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I honestly, a winner-take-all. I mean, these contests are sort of effectively winner-take-all anyways. Like, so much of the money is tied up in first. I love them getting creative with a winner-take-all contest. If you were trying to decide between a Bulldog and 3 BBMs, you absolutely should do the Bulldogs. The Bulldog is in terms of like underdog contests, it is like about as perfect as it gets. Just like a beautiful payout structure. Super flat, like really 3 out of 12 advanced instead of 2 out of 12. Jordan Mason goes. Yes. Now $100 winner take all. I'm probably not playing. All right, we are back up. I am not going to take Justin Fields. I am going to take Michael Pittman Jr. Give myself another quarterback. Just like how Jacob is going to have to take Jalen Warren here, I had to take Michael Pittman Jr. Justin Fields is third in the National Football League in points per dropback. Justin Fields finished as the third overall scoring quarterback in 2022. And in 2022, in 2021, Justin Fields was on the Best Ball Mania winning team. And in 2022, Justin Fields was one of the highest advance rate players in all of Best Ball Mania. So I think when drafting Justin Fields, you would certainly think that is a player who has directly led to many people winning quite a bit of money, actually. But that is only if you were looking at the data. If you are just wanting to have opinions and say things, then certainly you could say things like, imagine drafting Fields and thinking he's ever won anyone money. You do not have to like it, but the fact of the matter is that Justin Fields is a very good fantasy football quarterback. Yeah, I agree that Fields is sort of perfect for this format. I agree. All right. Speaking of Justin Fields, is he still available? He is. Wow, Rashid Shaheed goes, dude. All right, there we go. Bang, Justin Fields with Garrett Wilson. So we are up to Justin Fields, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, Michael Pittman Jr., and Brock Bowers. I think the Raiders-Giants Week 17 game is... Don't you guys think this one is probably secretly the best one? Isn't Dice and Darts like secretly going to be the best contest? I kind of think it is. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but you've got dome game. Those two teams are like no chance going to be in playoff contention. Oh, for sure have to get to 16%, Shaheed. Are you points per dropback? Dude played half a season. So Justin Fields has started 2 full entire seasons. Just for the record. Again, I am all down for opinions and things like that, but I do like when you stick to things that are actually true. Giants and Raiders are bottom 5 in projected points. That's just, honestly, it's just my, now this is the game. If you made me do my trash bowl power rankings, Titans Saints is my top trash bowl power ranking. That's my top. Dice and Darts is like 3 or 4 though. No, it's 2. It's 2. Yeah, Saints. I think, dude, man, that's really. I really think that. What do you do when you have Chuba and Tet and the Reg bad with Bowers 2 picks before you take unstacked Bryce over Geno? I don't know. Yeah, Neil. You are. I mean, I think not only could they have a legitimately great defense, I think they are expected to have quite a good defense. Man, this spot absolutely sucks. The Shuck Demon is gone. All the good running backs are gone. God, I'm just going to take Sharps. I didn't really know what to do. I kind of panicked. Herzig said earlier this week he thinks Tyreek and Waddle with Tua together is good. I don't think that, but Justin Herzig has won Best Ball Mania, and I haven't. Justin Herzig has also made the finals every year Best Ball Mania has existed. So I thought about May there. 1, he and Fields are in the same game. 2, I still have Young live, and I've got Daniel Jones live. And I also want to leave this one open to do a backdoor Cam Ward, perhaps. And I didn't think draft capital wise it made a ton of sense to take a quarterback there. Man, I tell you what, I need to move Judkins down lower in my rankings because I don't like taking him. We took 5 Packers, but at a much cheaper price. And I don't think we took 5. I think we took 4. To be fair, it was a bit of a panic pick with Sharps there. I would have taken Burden there. Man, I just okay. This is preposterous, dude. All right, let's take Tootin. You know what? I passed on Tootin the last time. Bada bing. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you do get points in fantasy football for rushing yards. Maybe I'm the first one to tell you this, but you do get points. It's actually not about Judkins not playing for the entire year. It's more about the ramifications of missing the beginning of the season, that compounding into one of Ford or Samson playing very well, and him coming back and just not being a clear-cut starter on the worst or second worst team in the NFL. And I kind of like Judkins as a prospect. If low on bread, would you recommend putting money into one BBM just for the fun of it, or sticking with only cheap contests I've ever been doing? I mean, my advice, first off, would be to view best ball like truly as entertainment. And if that is worth $25 of entertainment to you, you should do it. But in terms of value, like if you are looking for value, Best Ball Mania is not the contest I would tell you to enter. I would say I mean, the Golden, honestly, is an awesome contest right now for value. I think it's a very fair structure, but I think like the German Shepherds that they've been doing are sort of like the perfect contest for that. If you're just trying to get your feet wet. Yeah, exactly. If you're just trying to draft a ton, the cheaper contests are awesome. All right. I think I was definitely right. I think I was definitely right to take the wide receivers. Now I'm going to take Leggett. Do I take Leggett or do I take Ferguson? Actually, quarterbacks are just getting gobbled here, so I'm going to go Bryce. No, I mean, I guess I could have gone Kyle Williams there. I felt like Bryce was a little bit more important. Okay, so now we've reduced it to Jets are going to Jet and Fields will be a part of that. Well, sure. Again, like in this size of field, it just matters a little bit less. Like the final in the Bulldog is, let's pull it up. The final in the Bulldog is 31 people. So a bring back is just not going to be super relevant there. All right. And now, so taking Bryce there frees me up to kind of do whatever. And I assume I'm going to be able to get Leggett here because I don't think Jacob is going to take Leggett as his wide receiver. There you go. Bang. Xavier Leggett. So we got the double there. So we are Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson, Ted Arroyo, McMillan, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Michael Pittman Jr., Justin Fields, Zach Charbonnet, Byshell Tootin, Bryce Young, and Xavier Legette. So could have been better, could have been worse. Have a great day. All right, I guess, honestly, you know what? This is the bad pick. I let myself kind of get bullied by the room here. Addison would have made a lot of sense here. Honestly, could have just taken Pearsall or Diggs or Reed here at 68. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And that's okay. I mean, I obviously was pretty far behind it, but like looking at it backwards, the 2v2 of, Jordan Addison and Tony Pollard versus, Pacheco and I guess that is changing draft dynamics. Or, you know what? I should have just taken Igbuka. You know what? That's actually a better way to look at it, is that where I took Pollard, I should have just taken Igbuka. I mean, I can just say for my part, every German Shepherd I've done up until this point has been a slow draft. Each and every one of them has been a slow draft. Because they come out so quick. I actually think probably they should almost maybe just do fast only. All right, we are up. Freaking sidekick keeps wanting me to take Pat Bryant. I'm not about that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take Pop Douglas here. Little bring back action, dude. I know I just said it doesn't matter, but I mean, frankly, I just liked Mario Douglas to begin with. Oh, I think almost certainly Igbuka should pass Godwin ADP. You have to slow draft unless you want to sit at your computer screen all day. Yeah. Yep. And to be fair, Mr. Pittsburgh 21, I basically do just sit at my computer all day because my job is to sit at my computer all day. And even I don't have time to do them. Yeah, this is a funny bit. How many slow drafts am I in right now? I mean, I'll have to go look. But I bet between drafters, DraftKings, and Underdog, I bet I'm in over 300 right now. Slow drafts. No, 300. 300 is too many. 200 probably. It's a lot though. It's a lot of slow drafts. All right. I don't really think I want to take Wandale here. Mason Taylor. Dude, what if a Justin Fields double stack? When are you going to do DK salary drafts? Do you mean daily fantasy sports? Like NFL DFS? Or like, are you asking me, like, do I play MLB DFS? I don't think this is true. Yeah, I do just set a couple times every day. So basically, like, obviously when I wake up and before I go to bed, and then before I do a stream, I just go through and do all my picks. So I use this tool right here called the Sidekick that has my rankings in it, and I just go and rip through however many slow draft picks I need to make. They released, I did not know they released salary cap games for, Oh, you're saying you want me to look at the week 1 NFL DFS salaries? Because the what they released today is week 1 NFL DFS, not a seasonal salary cap game. Yeah, salary cap season long best ball would be a lot of fun. I would enjoy it. All right. We are at a 2.562. And you know what? Live a little, brother. You ever heard of a little guy named Brashard Smith? If you wanted to take Brashard Smith at pick 188 so you didn't get sniped, you might be a slappy. Well, you might be a... The only right answer to this question, Tyler Stickerwald said, who? Brashard Smith? Who? Yeah, we can't look at my highest entry fee exposures, but I don't believe that these drafts that we just did are going to be in them. Sure, why not Brashard Smith and Pacheco? Why not? Double up. McKinnon, Pacheco. Oh no, is my mic totally dust? All right, well, let me try this. So there is a way for me to fix that. There is a way for me to fix it, but I don't know what it is. All right. Do we take... We got Michael Pittman Jr. Yeah, we'll take Daniel Jones. Nothing like a little bit of Daniel Jones to take the edge off. Okay. I will look into this. I will look into it. No promises, but I will look into it. Yes, that reminds me to sub on twitch.tv/DavisMattek using my free Twitch Prime sub. This team is pretty bad, my guy. No, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't call it particularly good. It's basically fine. It's got Fields double. Yeah, it's fine. I think you're maybe confusing the concept of bad with players I don't draft very often, which is also okay. Could have taken Tyler Shuck, but I didn't really want to take Juwan Johnson. There you go. Shout out to Lord Jon Snow X, because I think this is a really good move. Tyler Shuck, Juwan Johnson. All right. Final wide receiver. Do I want to scroll? I mean, my wide receivers are pretty good. I mean, I guess I could just take Thornton here. Wicks is more fun. Mitchell might be more fun. I am going to do that. I am going to take Mitchell. Held Catchelson win. Bang. No, I don't want to take Jatavian Sanders. I didn't really need a third tight end here. Oh, he got sniped for me anyways. 3 quarterback, 3 tight end, probably no good. How'd we do? I had to draft and work. We got Justin Fields, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, Alvin Kamara, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Zach Charbonnet, Byshell Tootin, Brashard Smith, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, Michael Pittman Jr., Xavier Legette, Demario Douglas, A.D. Mitchell, Brock Bowers, and Mason Taylor. I'm doing it more than I've ever done it before, 3 quarterback, 3 tight end, but not doing it a ton this year. All right. You know what? I've got just about enough time before I've got to leave to go take my dog to the dog park with my wife. Let's go rip one more. We'll rip one more. I thought you were talking Elijah Mitchell. 3. Oh, I am a Chiefs fan. I am a Chiefs fan, but I wouldn't take all 3 of them. I don't think. All right, we'll go Bulldog to draft. Bada bing, bada boom. I know. It's the greatest slappy conundrum. You got 1 pick left. You've got Dontavian Wicks. You've got A.D. Mitchell. They're both sitting there staring you in the face. What do you do? It's impossible to say. All right, where are we picking this one? Carson Steele will be cut or placed on the practice squad. The 2025 Kansas City Chiefs. Take KLS. Brother, I'm the one who taught you about KLS. I shouldn't even sure, do whatever you want in the Discord, brother. Frankly, Mr. Latomsky, I really shouldn't even let you hang out in here because you're bad-mouthing Worthy so hard. Jason is drafting at the 11. Please don't snipe me, bro. Please don't snipe me. All right, what are we going to do here from the turn? Another Barkley over Justin Jefferson draft. No, Double J auto drafting. Dude, if you didn't love Keandre while watching Jarquez Hunter film, you need to learn Film Grinder, bro. GM Miles. How we all doing, man? What are you guys doing this weekend? 2nd round Justin Jefferson, bro. It's coming for us. Second favorite best ball sport. I guess it would be baseball. Baseball is the one that I have drafted the most of, I suppose. And the strategy for baseball is very intuitive. Now, my baseball dinger teams did not do good well at all, but they were still fun to draft. All right, bang, Genty, bang, BTJ, chalky little start here. Solo Shot is still doing okay, but man, Bubba Chandler needs to get called up soon. August 4th, the first round of Best Ball for Baseball ends. 6-year anniversary with GF. Hell yeah. Music Festival. There we go. Bang. You're having a weekend, brother. Blues Traveler, Gin Blossoms, and the Spin Doctors. I do know the Spin Doctors. Do I like Keon Coleman? Honestly, I don't really. I mean, I think he's fine. He's like, whatever. Oh, you don't want to know, brother. Dude, you should only do the Best Ball Bro voice for $1 super chats. How about that? How about that, guys? You're not getting Pete doing Davis as Pete, as Davis as Pete, unless you start super chatting. Working on my business, just quit my job. Hell yeah. I didn't quit my job. I got laid off. And I mean, let time be the judge, dude. I don't remember who said that in the ship chasing chat yesterday, but that is one of the funniest comments in the history of fantasy football YouTube. The Wi-Fi at this resort is a disaster? Can you start doing the Pete impression, but only talk about the show Quarterback on Netflix? Yeah, so I was watching this with my wife. No, that doesn't work. I kind of have lost my ability. This is actually funny. I am so not tuned in to popular culture that at this stage, I really can't even make fun of what normie stuff is because I don't even know what the normie thing to be doing is. I am so engrossed in like fantasy football that I truly can't even get to like I'm advancing better than 7.8%. Probably not by much, Beastburf. See, like, I don't even really know what Love Island is, and I have no guess at what a Labubu is. I've never watched 1 minute of Love Island, and I do not know what this second word is. Dude, DJ Shark is shining with the Falcons. Peter, will you speak on quarterback? All right, 11.1%. Hell yeah. All right, Lamar Jackson went early in this one. Josh Allen went early in this one. They're never going to let me get Amari in Hampton. Where did Hampton? Okay, he went 34. I guess that's reasonable. All right, dude, whatever. I'll take Brees. They're not going to bully me out of taking Brees Hall. And Xavier Worthy. Let's go. Let's go. Someone. Oh man. Gosh, I'm going to forget the name. Someone in the stream. Someone in the stream this morning was dead ass drafting Russell Gage. And he was, Soups. Soups was drafting Russell Gage, and he kind of meant it. Yeah, Jacob is going to be pissed. Jacob is going to be mad at how fast this team is. Ashton Genty, Brian Thomas, Brees Hall, Xavier Worthy. We are so lit. Dude, should have taken Ray there. Ray, more yards. Where you at, D. Latomsky? Ray McLeod. Ray McLeod last year. Let's look up these stats. 765 yards and 1 touchdown. Xavier Worthy generated 742 yards and 9 touchdowns. Just a bit outside. Just a little bit of difference between those players. TD Luck. He says it's TD Luck. I can't even play clips of Xavier Worthy because then this stream will get demonetized. What is my Genty versus Henry exposure? You're not gonna want to see it, brother. It's not gonna make you happy. Genty 9.8, Henry 2.2. If only there was some easily predictable way to know how that would work out. If only there was some way to know if that would be a good or bad decision. But sadly, there just is no way to know. One and 2 spot are about to have a Bengals piss off. He should have taken, instead of Jacobs, he should have taken Marvin Harrison, and they could have really gone for it. All right. I can really do positionally whatever I want here. I would love... well, I'm not going to say who I would love because I don't want one of you guys to take him. Wow, I know Miles is very new to best ball because he doesn't know who Traquan Smith is. Real best ball heads were in the streets with Traquan Smith. Is Golden a better prospect than Worthy was? Not in my opinion. I don't know. He could be. If you are hard fading Henry but think the Ravens will be good, are you pivoting to the other Ravens? I mean, that's a team that just exists for Lamar Jackson. I am drafting a lot of Keaton Mitchell relative to the field. Yeah, the thing with Golden's prospect profile is that he really only was used as like a real key part of the offense for like 8 games. Man, oh, I knew that was going to happen. All right, Travis Hunter goes. Sickening stuff. We will take, actually, you know what? I'm going to take Juwan Jennings instead. And then I'm going to slap it up a little bit with RJ Harvey. Actually, no, I'm going to do Travion Henderson. Hey, dude, you don't want me in your rooms, bro. I advanced 33% of my teams last year. You don't want to see me in your rooms, bro. Yes, the German Shepherd rooms are the absolute definition of slappy. I would believe that. I mean, if Zay Flowers runs into a positive touchdown regression season, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but you seem like a running back drafter. Vlad played with Bowers while injured all the time, and Golden. I mean, I wouldn't say Golden was forgotten by the coaches, but he also played. He also. Now, great point. How much can you bench, though? How much can you bench? Can you really be a running back drafter? Here's the thing. Should you be allowed to draft Derrick Henry on Underdog if you can't bench 225? $225 wide receiver. Simply play both sides. You play both sides, you always come out on top. Yes, you are absolutely describing what happened last year. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Matt. Well, then only 1% of people get to draft Derrick Henry. Hell yeah, Andy. 275 for 8. That is a man who can draft whoever the heck he wants. Yes. Yeah. If you go, Eric, if you go check the timestamps, you can go back and go watch it. I've got this video timestamped up for the start of all the drafts. Yeah, but everyone can deadlift 225. My pregnant wife can probably deadlift 225. Well, Steph, I mean, that's fair. Women are at a structural disadvantage for deadlifting. Yeah, deadlifting 225 for a lot of people is just getting up off the couch. This is not true, but fair. There you go. Steph can deadlift. Well, all I'm saying is that just in general, women can get closer to men of the same weight at deadlifting and at squatting than they can at benching. I don't know why, but I just know that's true from watching Jeff Nippard stuff. And I'm not trying to, I'm trying to be inclusive here. Asking for a friend, what percentage of humans bench 185? Honestly, I don't know. Not very many. Most people truly would struggle to bench their body weight. I would say 75% of people probably can't bench their body weight. Does that sound right? Maybe 60%. If you could only do 3 workouts the rest of your life. Well, 1 second. Let me pick. Bang, Igbuka. Lovely. Wonderful. Igbuka Mahomes, bro. We are chilling. We've never chilled harder. Yeah, you know. If I could only do 3 exercises for the rest of my life, I would bench, I would deadlift, and I would high bar back squat. Iceman, he knows his audience. Iceman 1236 said, when you said, I'm going to slap it up, I finished in my head with Travion Henderson. That's called knowing ball. Can more or less people bench their body weight given modern knowledge versus the obesity epidemic? Well, I mean, you know what is really interesting is that modern exercise is just that. It's modern. I mean, how long how long has the concept of a public gym existed? 70 years, maybe? Oh, what percentage of people do you think can do more than 1 overhand pull-up? A startlingly low numbers. Like an insanely low number of people can do pull-ups. Like, I don't know. Of all the people you meet in your life, 10% of the people you meet in your life as like a person living in the world today. It's Peter Overzet, and it's not close. Pete, I bet Pete can do. How many pull-ups in a row do we think Pete can do? I bet Pete could do 50 pull-ups in a row without stopping. Pete is in insanely good shape for a man of his age, obviously. No, Pete can do more than 20. Pete can do more than 20. Genty, Thomas, Brees, Worthy, Jennings, Henderson, Igbuka, Mahomes. I'm going to be a little bit behind. Pete is very strong. You guys would be surprised. Pete is quite a strong guy. He is in really good shape. Oh, Flock can do a ton. Flock is all. Do you guys know about Mason? Mason is crazy, dude. He does Ironmans. Okay, 50. If 50 is like world class, I'm giving him 30. Yeah, I'm changing my answer. Mason could do. Mason is also younger. Mason is still in his 30s. Yeah, Mason is he's in insane shape. Shout out to Flock. Bales, I would assume Bales might have a little bit harder of a time with pull-ups because he's so he is like, he's very muscular. All right, let's take. Oh, man. All right, whatever. Let's do it. Let's take Kelsey. I don't love taking Kelsey with Mahomes. I just have so much of them together. Let's do the bring back. Let's do Marvin Mims. Shout out to my boy, Marvin Mims, ahead of ADP. Honestly, like in terms of like shape and muscles, I'm what you would declare for shape. I'm not in great shape because I like to eat too much. Like I do 80-20. I eat very clean, but 20 I eat is real dirty. But I would like, of course, of the curve of the average American, I'm in decent shape, but Peter's in better shape than I am. New ship chasing idea where you have to draft football teams of all best ball streamers. I can do like 8 pull-ups. My back lifts are actually not particularly strong. Like someone with my weight and bench and squat numbers should be able to deadlift more than I can. Like my max deadlift has been 355, which is not very much, actually. All right. I kind of left myself thin here at second quarterback, I'm realizing. Like if the Hunter guy decides to take Trevor Lawrence, I might be kind of out of it. Man, this 9, 10, honestly, even the 8th round in these higher stakes drafts are just so devoid of value. It just feels like every pick is like pulling teeth. Like for me, after Pearsall goes, and I know I was hyped to get Ibuka, but it feels like look at this whole round in a row. How many of these picks would you guys say are good picks in the 8th round? Jordan Mason, Brian Robinson Jr., Darnell Mooney, TJ Hawkinson, Michael Pittman Jr., Jaden Higgins, Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, Keon Coleman, Cooper Kupp, and Travis Etienne Jr. I would honestly say like none of those picks, like I like fist pump them. Like they're fine. I think it's a pretty gross range. I like Higgins. I think Pittman's fine. I think Hawkinson is fine. I think Nix and Murray are fine. Like I'm not even saying any of them are bad picks. I'm saying which one of them are you thinking is like a smash? To me, not very many. Yeah, it's just that they're fine. Well, I don't think Kupp is a particularly good pick in half PPR, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I also have been a big time. Oh man, I've been meaning to show this thing off. My boy D-Mo Zone went to the Pirates game this last weekend and got me the Mac Miller bobblehead and mailed it to me. Absolute freaking legend. Gosh, Tootin goes. All right, let's take Lawrence. Do we just take Strange? No. Let's take Hollywood. Mahomes super stack, dude. Yeah, how cool is that, dude? Insanely cool of him. I can't decide if I guess I should take it out of the box. You ever seen anything that cool, dude? Literally the coolest thing I've ever seen. Hell yeah. No, I don't smoke weed. Everyone thinks I do. Yes, I have been taking McLaurin at this relatively new price. Where'd he go here? 41. I think McLaurin is a pretty obvious value at this new price. Because I don't think there's any way that he ends up not playing for the Washington Commanders. I would be stunned. Yes. Yeah, I used to smoke a lot of pot. No more though. Well, I'm never gonna sell this. For what reason would I sell? It's an incredibly nice thing of Demo Zone to do, and I have no interest in selling it. I have a Mac Miller unopened Spotify vinyl that they only made like 1,000 copies of. That goes for like $800 on eBay, and I'm not ever gonna sell that either. Can a guy just have long hair, skateboard, and gamble all day without being accused of a stoner? Yes, it will. It's gonna get a more prominent place in the YouTube background for sure. Genty, Thomas, Brees, Worthy, Jennings, Henderson, Igbuka, Mahomes, Kelsey, Mims, Lawrence, Hollywood. All right, I know what I need. I know what I need in week 17 on this team. I just need an outdoor. No, I don't think thinking I smoke weed makes you a slappy. I think it makes you someone with good observant skills. I think any hour to draft on DraftKings is pretty plus EV. No, I'm sick of the Pat Bryant, dude. Enough of the Pat Bryant. I frankly don't have any interest in Pat Bryant. No. I'm all good with my background now. I don't need ChatGPT anymore. I just wanted to be clear. I don't use ChatGPT the way people think I do. I literally just use it for things that I would have to pay someone else to do, but I try and keep my overhead at zero. If you running a small business, which is, I mean, basically what this is, the overhead could be, if I wanted it to be, my overhead could be really freaking high. All right. We have got a 2-3-6-1. So definitely need another running back. And this dude's about to take Bigsby, and I'm going to be so annoyed. I just know he's going to do it, so why even pretend like he's not? Wow. Let's go. Tank, Cartavius, Bigsby, and Brenton Strange. Bang! Let's go! Yeah, I'm paying my timestamp guy nothing because the timestamp guy is me. Will I continue to do fantasy content full-time when the baby comes? Honestly, I mean, obviously, the answer is certainly no. Like, I can't. I actually don't think it is possible to work full time while having a child, like the first like couple weeks or months or whatever. I mean, yeah, I desperately need a timestamp guy, but I ain't paying one. Yeah, Jerry, I'm just gonna figure it out. I told my wife the other day, I said, dude, I said, kids sleep. I could take him down in his bassinet and put him right here. She didn't seem to think that would work. But I think, come on. A kid's gonna sleep, right? You guys aren't gonna be mad if my kid cries. Right? I mean, I think ultimately, like, let's just be real. I'm just going to have to switch to more pre-recorded stuff when I have the time to do it. So it's just going to be it's going to be short. Like, I'm not going to, I've streamed 8 hours already today. My first stream. Oh, there we go. My boy, Tom, who is a loyal, Tom has been here all day. Tom's been with me since 9 a.m. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more of these, a lot more 10, 15, 20-minute videos. Tom's a real one. It's real. Yeah, DK is pretty soft. I will not be. Here's the thing about Buck. Buck is an acquired taste. Well, I would love to pre-record a month of content, but my child is due in November, and there's no pre-recording for NFL slates that don't have salaries. All right, let's do Genty Breach. This team, we need a Shipley here. And we'll do a Sam Darnold. And what round are we in? Okay. I think it's pretty easy to see how people could hate Buck. I think the Sunday morning streams, well, I mean, I would say Sunday morning stream is going to be the absolute first thing to go. Like, I would not plan on there being a Sunday morning stream. I would very much not plan on there being a Sunday morning stream in November. I think Chubb could score like 9 touchdowns this year, but I would be stunned if he stays healthy for the entire year. Based Buck. At what point do you think 2 quarterbacks is good, like Baker? Well, man, I gotta say that basically the Sims are telling you like 3 quarterbacks are almost always good. I mean, everything, it's honestly like pre-recorded versus live is the same. But the correct answer is just whatever gets more total views. You know, total views are what we are chasing out here. Total and subscribers, you know, like I just had a marketing call yesterday, and they asked, you know, okay, like there's this thing in our business called like a one sheet. So it's like, okay, what's your audience? How many views do you get? What's your watch hours like? You know, and things like that. So just anything that people watch is the answer. Is what's best. No, I would never. I personally don't think it's smart to take 4 quarterbacks. I'm buying all the Kyle Williams hype, but he also seems like the type of receiver meant to shine in no pads like Elijah Moore. I can see that, a real route technician. I could do this. I could pre-record all the Q&A from the Discord and answer it on Sunday morning. True. I might take a 3rd tight end on this team. What do you guys think about taking a 3rd tight end on this team? Might do it. Wow, McCole Hardman. That's the first time I've seen McCole Hardman picked. Shout out to Vex McAuliffe. Meet the whatever. Shout out, dude. A wild McCole Hardman appeared. Dang. Arroyo went. Oh, sad. Sad. Gosh, hate that. Hate that. Sidekick does still want me to take a 3rd tight end. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to take one more running back. I'm going to take Keaton Missile. And I'm going to select I'm going to take Elijah Moore. Slappy's anonymous. No player has ever been more buried. All right. Final team. Pat Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, Ashton Genty, Breece Hall, Travion Henderson, Tank Bigsby, Will Shipley, Keaton Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, Juwan Jennings, Emeka Egbuka, Marvin Mims, Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore, Travis Kelce, and Brenton Strange. Everyone, please make sure to like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for daily fantasy football videos. I have a video coming out tomorrow. It's going to hyperlink it to you immediately after here. If you like Buck, you'll like that one. But yeah, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Nothing